Hello learners, welcome to Sanskar EduTech. I, Vandana Padampalle, Assistant Teacher in English, working at PD Turakhya Junior College of Commerce and Science. Today we are going to learn 2.2 of Section 2, Poetry of Class 12th English of Maharashtra State Board. This is second poem of poetry section which is titled as Indian Weavers. It is written by well-known poetess Sarojini Naidu. Today we will cover the following topics. We will discuss about the poetess, about the poem, its importance, explanation of all three stanzas, key points that is in the form of a conclusion or summary, and poetic devices covered in this poem, and finally appreciation of this poem. Let us start with the first point, that is the poetess Sarojini Naidu. She was Indian poetess writing in English. Also, she was called as modern poetess of India. She was a political activist, feminist writer, and she was the first woman to become the governor of United Province. Also the first woman to become the president of National Congress Party. She was famous, well known by her nickname as a Nightingale of India. This nickname is given to her by Mahatma Gandhi. Let us talk about the title of this poem and short information about the poem I wanted to deliver to you. Indian Weaver by Sarojini Naidu. It's a short poem. It consists of 3 stanzas and every stanza is of 4 lines. The poetess talks about the 3 types of dresses that the Indian weavers weave at the 3 particular timings of the day. Metaphorically, each time and the dress weaved in that time symbolizes a particular stage of life. The poem has the rhyming scheme A-A-B-B. The poet uses a number of literary devices to express her ideas like simile, imagery, repetition, metaphor, etc. The poem consists of the discussion between the poetess and the Indian weavers. The poet asks the question in every stanza and later on the weavers gave the reply to her question. Among these 3 stanzas, we will discuss about the first stanza. The first stanza is, weavers weaving at break of day, why do you weave a garment so gay? Blue as the wing of halcyon while we weave the robes of a newborn child. In the first stanza, the poetess asks the question to the weavers, that is, why they are weaving clothes early in the morning. Break of the day, this word itself, it means early in the morning, which seems to be quite beautiful and charming. This is the meaning of a gay word that has been used here in this poem in the first stanza. The clothes are blue as the wings of a halcyon while. Halcyon is the other name of the kingfisher bird. The wings of the kingfisher are bright blue in color. In addition, blue color also symbolizes loyalty, innocence, purity. The blue color thus symbolizes the beautiful and precious life. Hence, in this stanza, the clothes weaved by the weavers are quite special, and that's why the poet is curious to know about them. Then later on, in the 3rd line of the stanza first, the Indian weavers reply, we weave the robes of a newborn child, that is, they are weaving the beautiful dress for a young one who had just came to the world. In this stanza, a number of images are used to describe the first stage of human life, like break of day, garment so gay, and blue as the wings of halcyon. This stage is full of happiness, freshness, hope, beauty, innocence. There is no sorrow in this stage. Let us talk about the second stanza. Second stanza is, weavers weaving at fall of night, why do you weave a garment so bright? Like the plumes of a peacock purple and green, we weave the marriage veils of a queen. In the second stanza, the poet again meets the Indian weavers, this time during the fall of night. Fall of night, it also indicates the evening time. It probably refers to the evening or a dusk time when the sun sets and darkness paves the way. Moreover, it is also the time during which most of the Indian marriages takes place. The poet asks the question to the weavers, why they weave a garment so bright like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green. The garment at this time is bright and full of colors like feathers of a peacock. Unlike the one color blue during the morning time that is mentioned, the weavers reply that they weave the marriage veils of a queen, thus referring the second or in the other words adult age of the life. During this stage, humans are quite active, they love each other, they get married and quest for better and prosperous life. The colors used here, purple and green, symbolizes sorrow and happiness, to struggle and ease in one's adult stage. And these all colors or ups and downs of life make the adulthood bright. The third stanza is, weavers weaving solemn and still, what do you weave in the moonlight chill? White as a feather and white as a cloud, we weave a dead man's funeral shroud. In the third stanza, the poetess finds the weavers solemn and still. That is, they are quite sorrowful, grieved and silent. But still, they are weaving clothes, something weird in moonlight chill. That is, in the dead of the nights, which is white as feathers and white as clouds. That is, colorless and lifeless. As the poetess fails to figure out that the cloth and why they are sorrowful and silent, she asks them what are they weaving rather than why they are weaving. They reply to her, they are weaving shroud, the cloth which is used to cover the dead bodies for a dead person. Thus, the third and the final stage is a death, which is emotionless, lifeless, like a white color or feather. In this way, the life which begins with life, joy, hope, etc., but it ends with sorrow and grief. Indian Weavers by Sarojini Naidu sums up the life of human begins on earth in three main stages by using symbols like clothes and times of the day. The journey of life begins one color blue, which means joy and happiness. It continues with the addition of a number of colors, green and purple, which means sorrow also enter into the life along with happiness. Life is more active in this stage than in the first stage. In the final stanza, all the colors vanish away and single color white remains, which means emotions are connected with the life, and when the person dies, emotions also dies. Here different types of poetic devices are used. The rhyming scheme of each and every stanza is A, B, B. The figures of speeches are used here. The first figure of speech used in this poem is alliteration. Alliteration means the starting sound is repeated in the phrase or in sentence. For example, listen, listen, there tolls the temple bell. When we look at this example, here T sound and L sound, both sounds are repeated twice. In alliteration, articles and prepositions are not counted. Only the starting sound should be the similar and it is repeated in the same phrase. The second figure of speech is used here is repetition. Repetition means a word or an idea is repeated in the line. For example, the same example we will take as earlier we have seen in the alliteration, that is, listen, listen, there tolls the temple bell. Listen, listen, listen. This word is repeated twice for the poetic effect. This is called as repetition figure of speech. The third figure of speech poetic device is used here is simile. Simile is nothing but direct comparison between two things using the words like, as like, so as. For example, Shivaji fought like a lion in the battle. Here in this example, Shivaji, a person, a fighter, is compared with the braveness, strength, power of a lion. Here, Shivaji and lion both are directly compared using the word like. Their braveness is directly compared with each other. Metaphor, this is the fourth figure of speech used here. Metaphor is nothing but indirect comparison between two or three things. Indirect comparison, for example, Shivaji was a lion in the battle. when we compare it with simile, there is a direct comparison. But here, indirect comparison is there. Instead of mentioning Shivaji fought like a lion, it is called as Shivaji himself, a person, a fighter, is a lion in this figure of speech. So, Shivaji is here indirectly compared with the braveness of the lion. The next figure of speech we will discuss imagery. Imagery means use of descriptive language which creates vivid pictures, sensation in the reader's mind. For example, fall of night, break of day, these are the imageries used to create a picture, sensation in the reader's mind. Next, we will talk about the appreciation of the poem. Here, you can write an appreciation using the following points. Total, there are 7 to 8 points are there to describe the appreciation of the poem. The first point is importance of the title. Already we have discussed it, the importance of the title. That is, you need to write about the poem. In the second point, about the poetess. You must write about the Sarojini Naidu using 5 to 6 lines here. The third point to write an appreciation is theme. The theme is nothing but this poem is the poetess has talked about 3 important stages in a human life: birth, marriage and death. She has highlighted the importance of the weavers, their work, as well as what are their thoughts when they are at work. The poem consists of a discussion between the poetess and the weavers. The poet asks the weavers and later on weavers reply to the poetess. The next point to write an appreciation is poetic devices and language and the style used by the poetess. The poetess has used devices like alliteration, metaphor, simile, imagery, repetition to create the scene in the reader's mind. The rhyming scheme is used here in this poem in all these stanzas is common, that is AABB, providing a pleasing rhythm to read aloud. The language comprises words used in a manner to create a beautiful and realistic pictures. The next point, you need to write about the special features, novelties and the focusing elements used in this poem. There is an emphasis on accept life with its joy and sorrows. Dignity of a labor and career opportunities is a small scale industries. The other aspects are vivid description of the clothes, color imagery and use of time elements with different kinds of feelings are beautifully depicted by the poetess. The next point to write an appreciation is value and message. Through this poem, the poem gives a very important message about the importance of colors weaved by weavers in our life. The poem begins with life, joy, hope and ends with sorrow and grief, which teaches us that we have to accept the law of nature. In the last point, you need to mention your own opinion about the poem. Here, a small opinion is what? The poem is very beautiful. Metaphorically, each time and dress woven in that time symbolizes particular stage in life. It also directly suggests the plights of Indian weavers and the dignity of hard labor should be maintained. Finally, we will discuss about what kind of questions will be asked and for how many marks. In the HSC board exam paper pattern, the question will be asked on the poetry is in question number 3rd, A and B. A question is for activities which will be asked for 10 marks and B is for appreciation which is of 4 marks. So total 14 marks questions will be asked regarding poems. Thank you everyone. We will meet soon with the next video.